Good morning, everyone. We have a special treat today. It's 11 o'clock, and I don't know if you hear this or not through the board. Interesting. This is Jason Schwartz. It is Monday, July, I'm not sure. I think it's July 8th, 2019. 19 plus... I got here in what was it now? 1988. Well, I've been here a good long while, and in all these years, I have enjoyed being on public access television. Having public access television and public radio, this is a different kind of a charter than television. Television gets its money from the cable bills. A percentage goes into a fund that allows public education and government to have access to create their own media to share, just like the big stations. And this has been a wonderful thing. I had started when I was a political candidate, thinking that I might use it to be able to, and then I realized I couldn't do that. I wanted to do shows, but didn't want to have equal time issues with radio, and TV was new to me. So I decided to start doing interview shows with Ariel, my partner. And here we are, 25 more years later. And I've done, God knows, almost 1,000. Someone said 1,000 shows. Oh, but radio adds a whole different flavor, and I want the public to know we are what they call low power. That means if you find us in the airwaves, that's because you're fortunate. We just had a beautiful guest show up.
Good morning.
What is your name, Mr. Guest?
My name is Suzy. I can't hear myself.
You cannot?
No, I cannot. I wish I could.
Okay, well, someone's going to play with our buttons here and find out why the things aren't here.
Oh, I think I have to do it here. Good morning, Jason.
Okay, you're on the right headphone? You are. Okay, you're good.
Well, I believe it is. So I'm here to give you a news that's a little bit saddening. Your guest, Dreaming Bear, is stuck in Lahaina.
So we had a guest scheduled for you guys today. We'll have him another week, hopefully very soon. Dr. Dreaming Bear. Many of you know him from his Lovolution and Maui-topia television productions that he does, and he's not able to make it today. He does.
He's very talented.
Very talented. Not only that, the reason that I got attracted to him is, besides his presence whenever I've seen him and met him passing, my friend Jim Loomis was here, and they got an opportunity to meet, and then they did a show. And Jim just sent me his thing, and I thought, Dreaming Bear would be a guy that would be really interesting for our audience to get to know. And in that process, we were just talking, and I said, someone has to do that for me, interview me.
Interview you. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. I can hear myself now.
Tony is our expert engineer supreme. He's here at KAKU and holds down the fort, along with Sweet Mama D. She holds down the fort. And he is a great team. We have a great team here. And Suzy is on the other side. She is involved with the television piece, Akaku Maui Community Media. I still call it TV, but I think that's a thing of the past already, isn't it?
Actually, I'm running the front office, which deals with KAKU, the radio station, on 88.5, but also Akaku, which is the TV, as you were just saying. They did a wonderful job Saturday, on the Macau parade. I was watching that, and then I thought, maybe I should stop this since Dreaming Bear is not coming, and I should come and interview Jason.
And you should be here. Suzy is the reason that Akaku has a beautiful face to the public. She interfaces with everyone and has such a pleasant demeanor. You really add, a front desk quality that, it really adds something.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So, Jason, should we start?
Oh, well, I think we are starting, right?
Enough talking about Suzy. Let's talk about Jason.
Oh, we can talk about whatever we want. If you want to talk about me, okay.
I would like to brush my skills on interviewing. I should be starting a radio soon. So we start with practicing, and my practice today is to interview Jason
would be my
Schwartz.
pleasure.
And your story
Siri
with
is not available.
Akaku didn't start recently.
Well, no, it didn't. In 1990, I'm going to say two, it might have been 2 or 3, Akaku was just getting started. Darla Palmer was the director, and Don Couch was one of the new instructors. Remember Don Couch in Council? And Don. And I had an opportunity to pull my name out of a hat. Nikhil Ananda was encouraging me to get involved in TV, the new media that was happening. And there were only so many people that could take these classes. It was very exciting, new thing on Maui to have any kind of media opportunity like this. And they pulled my name out, and I thought, well, I guess I should go to class. I mean, I'm that fortunate to get the thing, because I wanted to be on, but I really never thought about behind. And then I started doing it, and it was very labor-intensive then. We had cameras. Now I use this. But we had cameras and got technical, and then we had editing bay and reel-to-reel and cutting tapes.
Reel-to-reel. Antics.
And it was fun, but it was intensive, and I just got down to a science. When Mac came out with their simple iMovie, I was in heaven. I could take clips and assemble them and do transitions and send them out the door. Then someone did an opening for my TV show, because I have a nonprofit that I started called MAMA, Maui Arts and Music Association. So Ariel and I started doing shows of events, like the Makawao Parade. I've done it a couple of times, actually. Before Akaku went up there, I was doing it, on the shoulder. I've learned to master the one-camera shoot.
So let's go back. You started your history with Akaku in
92 or 3?
1982 or 1983. Soon after that...
92.
92.
Yeah,
Soon
correct.
after that, you had your TV show with Ariel.
Yeah, it just started sort of organically. It started
Right.
with me, and then while running for mayor,
Oh.
Green Party candidate in 94, I met this incredible woman, and that was Ariel. And I pursued that, and we started doing this together.
What did Ariel like in you?
In me?
Yes.
I don't know. You have to ask her. But I think what she liked was I have ideas that I think are not wild ideas. They're progressive and integrative to be honoring all people,
I agree.
races.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Green Party came along, I got encouraged to go to that meeting of the Green Party by people that said, you have the right philosophy. This party's starting. We need candidates. That's the only reason I ran then, but I ran for council in West Maui. I have so much fun talking to people because I have no agenda except to put out good messages.
So wait, you ran without an agenda?
I had an agenda. My agenda was to do a better job and deliver responsible public action through government where someone was there and listening. My background before I came to Maui was in, among other things, real estate, but renewable energy technology, solar energy. I was the largest solar energy broker in Southern California when they had a tax credit, putting solar on apartment buildings for water heating purposes. And then there was some guy I met, it's a long story, but he had technology that would be ideal where the utility rates were high. And it was either Long Island Lighting, that's New York City where I'd come from, or this place called Maui and Molokai.
And that begs the question, as a person who left the Bay Area 2 years ago,
Yeah.
just forgot about the rat race and wanted to just be in paradise, I knew exactly what the process was. It took me 2 months to make the decision and to get here. I already knew Maui a little bit because I came here on vacation on a regular basis, but I'm always curious. How do people leave where they are from to come here? What is the process?
I came
How do
here
you
by
find
design.
Maui?
I came here because I wanted to talk to these people who had high utility bills and show them that we could generate electricity and hot water. I was on cutting edge. There was this, without getting too much detail, curved linear lens that focuses sunlight along a line, and they put photovoltaic cells under them. And then they had heat fins underneath, so it was a cogeneration system generating electricity and hot fluid, which had tremendous application. That still is a great thing, could be used. But I came here and talked to I talked to the utility company. I had a nice time talking to then President Tom Gastrein, and he told me to go to the hotels and all the engineering people, but they were kind of reluctant to give their information of their usage and all the nitty-gritty of what was up, and they were too independent to want to come together. But that's why, by discussing these things, that's how people said to me, you have the right ideas, you should run for politics. That's how I ended up going to the Green Party thing and getting involved, because I was already one of those guys championing environmental stuff. That's when I met Albert Perez from Maui Tomorrow, and my doctor Rick Sands, and Tony Rankin, who did the Saving the State Park at McKenna, and Lucienne Dene, and people that are now very well known here on Maui. And I'm the quiet guy who I got
Not
somehow.
so quiet. Not so quiet.
But I was, I was considered radical because I was Green Party, and I decided not to be in the Green Party because there was no one to play with. They were all Democrats and some Republicans. So I broke out of the Green Party, but my philosophy has always been open social justice, pillars of environmental things that feel really right. And I don't put a party label on it. And when you said that I run without an agenda, I ran with the agenda of, in every meeting I go to, or I hope all the council, whether they know an issue or not, they come with an open mind to hear everything and try to do something that makes sense for everyone.
Looking back,
Yeah.
when you were involved in the Green Party, and now forward to 2019, has there been any progress? Anything has changed for the better or the worse?
In what, Maui?
Mm-hmm. We are in Maui. Yes,
Well,
here.
what's changed in Maui, number one, is a lot of years have gone by. And just like erosion, when you keep doing the same thing, you make a divot. Maui has made a divot. We have more people. We have inadequate infrastructure. We have no real aggressive self-sustainability modeling coming from the government. We have excuses. We don't build houses for the people that live here that are affordable. We create an overrun tourism industry. When I formed the nonprofit, and it started as art, promote visual art and healing art, music, culture, environment, tourism. When I did that, way back when, put it in the logo, I had a real back push about tourism. I was modeled after DBED, Department of Business, Economic Development and Tourism, and I modeled my visuals from Maui Inc. magazine that was around. I wanted to be a supplement, either to put them in me as a magazine or have me in them, and I say me. We started this with the idea that we could be self-sustainable and integrate positive things together, pull me, quote, out of it, and find that people will find their part in this matrix of self-sustainability. Still possible, but somehow in their political regimes, a lot of people have said to me things like, and very specifically, that they talked to a mayor, like, I shouldn't name the mayor, but when he was there, and they said, what about Jason Schwartz? And the response was, we like Jason, but he's not a company man. That means I didn't want to walk lockstep like a Republican or a Democrat to vote. We see it happen in Congress. This guy, Amash, a congressman who was Republican, just went out and left the Republican Party. Independent voice, to be present at meetings, have ideas to contribute, but also receive, hopefully in such a way as to make it all inclusive and inviting. When people see something good and they know that that part in there is them, they come forward and step forward. And I think in life, the best volunteers are paid volunteers. And there's money from people that have money that can come in and they can make the money. I don't worry that the people that have money will make more money if we're doing what will create this self-sustainable model called Maui. We're now 20, God knows, this beard wasn't gray. 25 years later, plus, and we have champions like Al Perez and Lucien and Mark Sheehan. I can name them. I think a lot of us have heard names of people. They're more combative, Lucien less so, but more combative in their approach than I am. And so I've had fun interviewing people of all kinds of things. That's where this neutral zone came from. Because people see me with all kinds of people and wonder, how could I sit in the same room with that person that thinks that?
And I wonder if people know that Jason Schwartz is also a singer, just to switch the conversation from politics to back to Jason Schwartz and what life is all about for you. Coming to KAKU, having interviews and really touching a lot of subjects and topics. But other things too. I know you're taking classes, but let's talk first about your music because I don't know much about it.
Well, you know, somehow I really want to be a team player. And so when I was young here on Maui and I had this idea of a rising tide raises all ships. Before there was an American Idol, we were doing shows here locally before there was an internet. And I really didn't have a lot of support or money, but we had bands, and Musa McGillicuddy's in Lahaina band, and at the Kealani, and we'd have shows, and we were going to take the best of the talent and put them together in an album annually, and show off our black rock, Road to Hana, King and I, blah, blah, and promote to the world and have them see that we were a model led by artists and musicians and a culture of these islands.
Fantastic.
To show off self-sustainability to the world. And that was 1991, 92, 93. That's why when I got involved in politics, maybe it confused people. Jason Schwartz, the Green Party candidate, who instead of Jason Schwartz talking about this thing. But that's what it is. None of this is me. It's we. And this vision is now 25 years later. I've had people like, you were here probably after. You remember Junior Moniz?
I do not.
Some of our audience remembers Junior. We're going to take a break here in a minute. Junior was the chairman of the county council when there was politic that was supporting the future expansion of the airport, and he used to work for the airline, and we had this heavy thing about development. And bottom line, I saw Junior after he was retired, and he looked at me in Whole Foods and he said, I know you from somewhere. And I said, it's Jason Schwartz. Oh, you were right. You were right about the energy thing. You were right about a lot of things. You should run again. We'd back you. I still don't know who we is. But I know I was not saying anything we don't all love. Now the world has grown up. I think they're ready for all of us to start to work together. I am I'm off in a tangent here, but very excited, Suzy. I just got Brian Cohn, who's been a guest here, who we know did some movies, Get a Job, Kuleana. He's at the Creative Media. He's the head of it at the college. This summer job opportunity of production assistants came up for Temptation Island, one of the TV shows on. So I said yes. A few of us, I guess, said yes. I'm the only one that's still there. I have one more week with them. Everyone else, these are 12-and-a-half-hour days. I guess it was more than students thought. But that's the entrance to an industry. We have to get the fabric of people here who want to do it to try to develop more things here. Because these guys had to call off island and bring production assistants in because they couldn't find them on Maui.
Do we have to go on a break?
Oh, yeah, we're going to go to break, but these guys are flexible. So we only have a small radio station, and very few people will listen unless they go to Facebook Live, and they can hear us there. And they can go, that's good. And they can also go to Akaku and find the feed there.
And for your show, you have a
I have MauiNeutralZone.com where I log all my shows. I put them up on Facebook. I have them on my page. And I hope that's a way that many of you, if you like one of our shows or get an opportunity to listen, you can listen to others and realize these are all sparkling lights. Think of it as a map, a road map toward our future. And these are all parts of that map. Whether there's someone we agree with or don't agree with, it all forms this matrix. I call it a matrix. Again, when you're old, some of these things came out after you did, but I'm not Keanu Reeves, and I didn't do The Matrix, and I didn't do the writing, but that's what I think Maui could be and can be now. I'd like to talk to our present mayor. I'm just off on this tangent. But when his wife encouraged me to interview and no one called me for interviews, once again, I've been sort of like sidestepped on getting involved in the regime. And maybe now that's going to be a good thing. We can take all these independent things and put them together non-government. That means we have control, quote, no control, but the opportunity to be the leaders and have the government then serve what we create to help make it better, which to me is what I originally wanted to be doing with government way back when I first started. So am I a Democrat, Republican, Green? I don't know.
You are Jason Schwartz, who
needs to take a break.
Who is a singer, still hasn't told her what he likes to sing.
This is Suzy, and I don't know Suzy's last name, but just knowing she's Suzy is...
I'm sitting in for Dreaming Bear, who's probably going to be your guest
He may be my guest next week.
Yes.
Right.
And you're listening to KAKU 88.5.
Let me get
I may not be back. I'm sitting here when we come.
The Neutral Zone with me, Jason Schwartz, would like to sincerely thank David Bryan for his support. David was founder and head of school at New Road School in Santa Monica, California, and is the board chair at the Ojai Foundation and on the board for Brave New Films. The Neutral Zone is heard live Mondays at 11 a.m. here on KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui, and again on Saturdays at 7 a.m., as well as on TV and on MauiNeutralZone.com.
Do you have something to say but can't find an outlet? Did you know that Akaku offers a service called Open Mic? Here, you can come in and make a statement on any topic you want, and it's free. Play a song you wrote, recite a monologue, do a funny dance, comment on a recent event. The floor is yours. Come speak your mind for free. Appointments are available Mondays and Wednesdays between 1 and 3. Call 871-5554 today to reserve your spot.
Hi, this is Steve Summers. Join me Sunday mornings from 1 to 2 a.m. with a replay Sunday mornings from 10 till 11 for the Oldies Time Machine. It's familiar oldies from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, plus some of those rare tracks you won't hear on any other radio program. Right here on KAKU 88.5, the voice of Maui.
Gutsy Women Radio welcomes the Wailea Healing Center to KAKU-FM, the voice of Maui. Listen on Fridays at 11 and Saturdays at 2.
This is Rebecca Wilson, founder of the Wailea Healing Center, and we've created a true sanctuary for healing and rejuvenation. We offer acupuncture, massage, yoga classes. We also are a venue for weddings and special events.
Gutsy Women Radio, KAKU-FM, the voice of Maui.
Hi, I'm Jason Schwartz, host of The Neutral Zone. KAKU is a listener-supported station. This means that all of the great programs you hear, like mine, are sponsored by you as well as our underwriters. If you would like to help keep the voice of Maui talking loud and clear, go to kakufm.org/donate today and give. And don't miss The Neutral Zone Mondays at 11 a.m. on 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui. We are back.
And we are back.
I have Suzy here, and I'm Jason Schwartz. Suzy's going to stay a little longer with us. I'd like to keep her the whole show, but She runs the whole place over this
I
other
had to
side.
go to my front office there.
Now, I know I didn't really sidestep it. You think I'm going back to politics, but I don't really think of it as politics. I think of it as holistic. Many people have asked me, why don't you just sing? You should just sing. What are you doing anything? You should be doing that. Like, yeah, I don't want to blow out our microphone.
No, but I'd like to hear you sing.
How about let's try this here. I can't stop loving you. I made up my mind. I sang that because at this cast party, I sang, I was born in a dump. Mama died and my daddy got drunk. They never heard that. Tobacco Road from years ago. They didn't even know, don't let the sun go down on me. See, now I'm trying to get more modern as I went. And I did Leon Russell. I've been so many places in my life and time.
Beautiful.
So, but that's a sort of a side, I want to say side thing. I'd love to do that, but you got to have the gig before you get the musicians around here, because Maui's a very interesting market, but I'd love to sing again. In fact, doing this TV experience this last couple of weeks has made me realize how much more opportunity we have here, and how the idea that I have about putting all of us together and showing all what we have to showcase the world, this may be the right time.
This is the right time. This is the right moment. So whoever is listening to you right now, if it's not you, it might be somebody else that you know who may
and our
want to be
guests,
in.
like Dreaming Bear, you know, when talking about Maui-topia, everyone talks in their own language, you know. I think of him as a more new age, more he attracts a crowd of people that are open to listening to things with space and vision. That's, I think, why Jim Loomis, remember Jim Loomis, our guest,
Right.
Who's an amazing guy, by the way. Another amazing guy, because we are filled with amazing people.
I meet
here
a
now.
lot of amazing people coming through Akaku for the radio, for the
Fantastic.
TV. It's just incredible. And I keep hearing the same thing. Maui is a very, very special place, and I'm so grateful to be here and to meet all these people who are on the same wave as me, thinking that we are all very lucky to be here.
Yes, we are, aren't we? Now, if I was keeping you here,
Where?
you have another question for me? I gave you a little taste of music, but I'm moving away. I could go off on another tangent.
You and I talk a lot, especially after your show, sometime before, but you know, time flies and you need to be ready for your radio show. But after that, I give you some feedback because I'm able to watch all of the TV, the 3 TV channel, 53, 54, 55, but at the same time I also listen to the radio and I listen to the shows if I'm not interrupted. And we do talk, you and me, and I know you have a lot of projects, and perhaps you can
I'm not
try
one-dimensional. You met my beautiful partner, Ariel.
Ariel, yes.
And Ariel
Ariel.
is very spiritual, and I want to say new age. She's open-minded, went to New School of Social Research. She's traveled the world and has explored many modalities and things. And so she's taken me into all kinds of different areas, different people, and different healing, and extraordinary. And part of that is part of our shows that we're doing. We're going to do some more new coming up. And I just, like, there was a machine sitting in the corner of the room that hadn't worked. And some guy looked at it and up in Kula, and it came out to be hydrogen. This was a machine that took water and could separate it in hydrogen and oxygen in a usable fashion, and has unbelievable. We know it becomes a torch. You have hydrogen or oxygen, you put a light on it and focus it.
Right.
In fact, that's the common use. But they discovered that it has extraordinary health benefits. Molecular Hydrogen Foundation, there's a group that promotes about molecular hydrogen, has so many health benefits. It just changes all the rules. Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, cancer, on and on. So I thought that was something to share, because we can, for example, there's an inventor up in Kula who's made a machine to deliver this in a better way than anyone else has I've seen. And so I just like to bring new and interesting things to people. I always wondered what was my role. Like all these years, I didn't really pursue my music. What am I doing here? I've been hopefully introducing the people of our island and the world, as they'll listen, to amazing people and amazing possibilities, which is why my guests like Dreaming Bear and Jim Loomis is a man who lived the possibility. He had a choice of stay in society, really recognized for the gifted guy that he was and is, or come out and forge his own life with his beautiful baby daughter and the life that happened here on Maui. These are the examples: Dreaming Bear, Jim Loomis, all the people that we could name there. And some of them people say, oh, no, he's this, Ricky Hokama. These are people that have a lot of greatness in and really have the desire to give.
And so you're talking about Jim Loomis, who was a guest of your show not too long ago, and Dreaming Bear, who was supposed to be the guest today. But among all of the guests that you've interviewed, is there one that really sticked with you, the most memorable one?
Well, this show has been, I think I'm up to show number 50. So it's a year. And I'd have to kind of look at the list to but I enjoy these interviews. That's really, I ended up doing it, whether we call it the Neutral Zone or Sages of the Ages or Mama Presents. I just get this fun sitting with someone and exploring. Like, sometime we'll come and we'll interview you. Like, you came from San Francisco. Were you a dancer there? Or you were a wizard there? Where did you come from?
Are you asking me?
I guess. See what I mean?
Well, the problem is that I'm interviewing you today, not the opposite.
No, but we'll do that some other time.
Right.
But that's what I've been doing. My last guests is very hard, because as they come on, they're all very interesting.
And we can tell the audience that they can go back and listen to all the interviews that you've conducted here. Where do we do that again?
Easy at MauiNeutralZone.com. But you can also look at Akaku, K-A-K-U, I guess both. But K-A-K-U on Facebook has a thing that shows off shows, and I imagine
televised radio.
Televised. I've been taking these radio shows and putting credits on them and putting them on TV to bring up visibility for the radio station, because it's such a low-power one. You can find it on TuneIn, which is a program that really works very well on phones. But it's just a fantastic thing that we have this radio station. And we have really, you know them probably better than me, Biscuits and Gravy, right? There's a show, and then Allie is here, which she does
the Motherhood Show. Suzanne Cahen has a wonderful show with tons of guests, and she said she likes to have this show because she can have singers come and do a concert just for her.
Bill and Bobby.
Bill and Bobby Best, of course, absolutely.
That's Off the Record.
Oh, that local show with Tony, who was just here.
Tony was here, and we got
1 o'clock.
Tony's great, and I was going to say Bodie and the Death Store, the Death Show.
We are lucky to have Buddy.
He's a wonderful guy. That's what happens when you get old and live on Maui. All these great people are here. What the world could see from living a Maui experience through and with us, I think would be a fantastic example.
And so over the years, radio has still held its power. There are a lot of podcasts being produced nowadays, but I believe radio is always going to have this special place, because as a media, it is very intimate. I actually prefer radio as TV. Yeah. It's a little more intimate. There is a a conversation that's coming from the host, the presenter, and the audience, and it's really personal because it doesn't have to be audience at large. It's just from one person to the other. Do you prefer TV than radio?
Well, I can tell you, I prefer radio because someone is doing all the tech, and they're getting it out there. That,
Not necessarily so.
Well, and then I take it, I like TV because I get a lot of feedback. I mean, some woman who was cooking for this television show, right, remembered me as a substitute teacher, and when they were chanting my name at Maui High when I was running for mayor, I stopped substitute teaching then. Or the Kapala, who's the chief medic on the show, looked at me, he goes, "You're that guy from TV." My face has been on local TV now here on Maui for a lot of years, and it brings me a lot of pleasure to have people recognize and really be supportive. As the world will find us, I think we have a lot to offer the world, and I like being a host of that. Once in a while I get to sing. That would be my dream, to be able to move in goodwill, and TV grabs them. I understand that we need short segments for our new generation. They really, when I'm here watching people, they're always on their phone. They're constantly on their phone even at this television production set. Young people are there and running the world. I hope that our young people here in Maui and in Hawaii realize there is a film and video industry that is coming here, and then it comes here. If you want to get involved, now is a great time to go to the college and get hands-on opportunity through productions like this. Just fantastic. That's why I like TV, because I think it's the one that most people see on the internet, visual. Radio is great. It's very intimate, people in their cars, but we need more power from the station.
The beauty of it all is that now with your smartphone, you can have your TV in the palm of your hand. You can have your whole library, as Steve Jobs said, 3,000 songs right in the palm of your hand. The smartphone is just an incredible tool.
It is.
It's beautiful to have. We have to learn how to use it. This is why Akaku offers some classes into Android and iPhone. AARP has had collaborated with us and vice versa to offer this for some of us who were not born with a smartphone
How would they
the
find
palm.
out about that?
How did who?
They call us here at Akaku?
AARP, I believe, is promoting it.
I see.
Akaku does that as well. And if you ever have any questions about training or the classes, the salons, everything that the Akaku has to offer, you just call me right here at the front office.
871-5554?
And that is correct.
See, I know that number. It's like etched in my brain for years. Yeah, no, this place has been an amazing crossroads. Hi, Lucian. Amazing crossroads for amazing people. You probably see political things and social things. A lot goes by your front desk, huh?
A lot. It's a position, and again, we're talking about Suzy when it was supposed to be all about Jason.
Oh.
But to make a long story short, and just to give you a little bit of what I'm doing here, it's a job of many interruptions, but it's very extremely rewarding to meet all of these guests or to work with a team of creative professionals. They just did this fantastic Makawa parade on Saturday, and it's just so fantastic to be surrounded by creative people who also have a sense of community. And that's why I'm so happy to be here. This is the first thing I did when I moved here. I contacted Akaku and I started to take classes in editing, video storytelling, and then I was fortunate enough to be at the right place at the right time and to replace Happy Dana, who was then running the front desk.
Who is also a wonderful lady.
She is, yes.
Happy Dana. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Dana.
This place attracts great people, really attracts great people, and I'm sure that they're very happy to have you. when you were talking about me, I can go on talking about you.
I would like to know what really makes you move inside. I believe one day we spoke about homelessness, and not too long ago there was a salon which was presented by Lisa Darcy, and you had mentioned that you were also really moved by this situation. All of us are, a lot of us. There are lots of problems like immigration and homelessness and, others. It's life. This is just the way it is. But why don't you talk to us about what you would do to fix homelessness?
The first thing I would do would be go to the big landowners that have land that they can still own, and go to the people that move it. I could name names, A and B, or Goodfellow. They also have connections and even are banks. And a lot of things could happen if affordable housing development by design, integrated with progressive ideas that you might get from Maui Tomorrow, for example, or Lucienne, and many others, could work to, I think Jesus said it, I don't think this is very paraphrased. He said, when you're in Rome, give the Romans what they want. We got this other thing going on. Give the Romans what... So if the people that have the money can make more money, we should give them advantage to have more work and create more work and affordable housing. And I don't want to say stop development of tourism, because tourism is important, but if we don't make the quality of our island good for our regular own people, there's going to be no one to be able to keep this tourism alive. And people here who have their children move off island because they have to. We need to be developing clean industries. Film and video is just one to be talking about. And to be able to do things here. So for homelessness, I think we could declare emergency. And through all of us, that emergency, people think, tent housing. A lot of things can be done. There's a guy I met on island who went to Iraq on his second or third tour, and his job was, they had tents that they built over there, but they'd cover them with insulation and turn them into even longer term temporary housing that were cool. And there are many things that can be done to solve a problem in the short term. We could talk about equity sharing. The people that have the money could be well involved with solutions that are all available here. The question is, where do you get the money? That's always what someone says.
That's what it is. And you were talking about tents.
But these are the owners, the people that own the land and do the moving of the things, and are the construction company, have the bank. Without digging into any pockets, the money can be created. And then over time, through rents, some say supplemented by the government, but through this process, affordable local housing can be developed either at the same locations or at other locations. There are many brilliant people here who have many ideas. I've heard some of them. We've heard some of them. They need to be acted on without fear and without the anger that happens. I just see so much animosity. Some of the homeless, yes, are mentally ill and have substance abuse problems, but many of the homeless are not mentally ill. They're faced with the high cost of living here. Some of them are full-time working, some aren't. There are all kinds of issues, health problems.
It could happen.
We can solve these problems. Lisa Darcy is a champion of things. I could get into it and start to get very upset at the heavy bureaucracy around help. And I don't say they're not trying to help. I just think that there need to be more money to get more feet on the ground. I want to say foot soldiers to get out there and do it. Or people that could be paid, because those that have the money, whether you have your money sitting in a bank or you call it a field, or it's this account that shows you have that much resource, those kind of manipulations can happen, and we can accomplish a lot of these things. And then the government can make it easier for us.
And you were mentioning tents. Do you know that now, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, Amazon itself is selling tiny homes.
Are they?
Tiny homes, sustainable.
How much kind of money?
Can I say?
You can
On
say
the air? And $19,000 for a tiny home, sustainable, with solar panels.
How big?
Small. But, you have windows all around, so...
I've seen people building them on island for less than that. I don't want to name names because at this moment, but no kidding.
Studio size, one bedroom.
Both on trailers and without. There's fantastic things. And wouldn't it be... These things are happening now. They're happening under the radar. If things could happen and be more public, there could be examples of things we can do to show the world of what can be done. I think there's a lot that can be done. And we see it all through the internet has great things. And the fact that Amazon is selling houses for $20,000, they probably also do the financing. So there you go. Someone wants to do it and own it and then sell it. Remember when... I was going to say, you're not old enough to remember mobile home parks. Remember that?
Of course, yeah.
You ever see them be financed? I know people that made millions of dollars buying and selling mobile home parks and lots. Probably still goes on now. And there's lots of things can be done, people.
How much more time do we have?
We have about 10 minutes.
Can we talk about Maui? Beautiful Maui. What do you love about Maui?
What do I love about Maui?
Yes, because you're the one being interviewed.
Oh.
In case you forgot.
Well, what I love about Maui is...
nature. Well,
when I came here, I saw a place where I walked across the street where now Foodland is and Life's a Beach. There was a health food store.
Foodland on this side? Kihei.
And a lot of people tell me, and that was already developed. You didn't see it when it was even more simple. But there were no lights, and you could walk across with your bare feet, and there were no need for lights. Now you can't make a left in Kihei. You have to have a traffic light help you. But what I like is it's a beautiful place. It has beautiful beaches. It has really so much aloha. I came here, and what I recognized was people that smiled back at me and had a spirit, and the local culture. I got to know Hawaiian people one by one. I didn't really know when I came where I was coming to, but I got to recognize a host culture, and I saw that the visitors at that time and the people that were here at that time that stayed were the ones that honored the host culture. It was still a small, beautiful place, and that's what I really liked. I really, really was enjoying it, and now still, it's the people that, to me, I really love. Maybe when people slow down in Paradise, tourists still I don't have as much exposure, but they're here and they try to slow down to our pace. But this pace here just is very relaxing. Ariel was another ingredient to Maui that really... Ask what do I like best about Maui. I have a wonderful partner who showed me the value of slowing down,
The road to Hana, Aleakala, La Perouse. Do you have a destination that you keep coming back to?
Well, someone asked me, one of the tourists asked me, so what should I be doing here? And I said, well, we have parasailing, we have the road to Hana, we have...
zip lines.
That's new.
We have the submarine.
Have all kinds of boats and submarine to look under the water, over the water. Those kind of things. Jet skiing. How about swimming? I just like Maui. I mean, I know that from almost everywhere, in 20 minutes you can be at a beach and in an ocean. And you can find simple beauty in just looking at a sunset. I love taking walks at sunset time with Ariel. I just love that. I love it's a beautiful remote location, and I really think we can still be a self-sustainability model to the world. We just have to not approach the group that doesn't have that in their the front of their mind. Approach them more gently and show them where they can make money in an alternative way. I think it all can be done here. So what do I like best about Maui? The fact that if you want to see Willie Nelson, you might see him in a store and say hi in a loving, friendly way. Or Mick Fleetwood, very available as a person. You've seen these guys around. They're all stars that are here and recognize that we're a more friendly. Clint Eastwood is here. I'm only mentioning a few. That's what I really like.
And we would like them to stop by and come and see us at Akaku.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I was going to
so they
invite
can be
a
your
couple of these
guests,
guys.
yes.
I was going to invite them to the show, but Shep Gordon, that's a good guy we can have here. We have a few minutes left.
You keep looking at the
what
clock
I think about
here.
Maui, it used to be that Maui was a beautiful place. It's still a beautiful place, but it's becoming, its direction is more and more crowded and more people and more development. And if we're going to develop, the first thing to develop is a lot of affordable housing for people that live here. And to me, that's really important. And food. I think it's crazy that in a couple of weeks of no ships coming here, we're out of food. Doesn't that strike anyone as important enough to call a priority?
There's farming happening here.
Well, there's farming happening here, but it's still not happening like we need.
Right.
Mahi Pono, I'm hoping that we can have Shan Satsui. He said he'd be a guest in our show. I have to call him again. And isn't that nice to be at a place where people that one might perceive as somehow adversarial can come and sit? I've spoken with people on all kinds of different sides of issues where we can talk and see that we really all agree on what we want. We want it to be better. And that's something. You know, I've had Hawaiians here. I wish that I could do something to right the wrongs of years ago. But in the land and world that we live in here, what I like about Maui is I found we can make it work together.
We can make it work, and Akaku and AKU offers, this is a resource for everyone that has an idea, a message to share. Any of us can learn to do radio and just use this media or TV and just share the message.
If you can put a headphone on and sit in front of a microphone,
and if you can
these
talk,
people make it easy for us.
And you can just come and talk stories.
Great. Yeah, and what's really nice is you can then share it with someone where to find it so more people will come and listen and support us with a little bit of sponsorship here and there. Really helps a lot. We are Pacifica Radio Group, aren't we? Which means we have some programming that isn't local, but it has national.
Democracy Now!
Democracy
That's
Now!
a good one.
And those people ask for money. So can we ask for money? I guess we're asking for sponsorship. I guess I just did it. There it was. And it doesn't even have to be a lot. It could be anything. And drinks.
We are
for the
asking
crew.
for support.
Yeah. So that we can bring more programming to you and that you can bring programming.
And yes, we're also inviting you to provide content, to just be part of it, to make Maui alive.
Yeah, you were doing that commercial earlier. There's a lady upstairs, Nicole, right? Doesn't she bring incredible salons here of all kinds of subjects?
Every Thursday night, yes. The next one is the fish pond. So you can call me. I believe you have the flyer behind you. We can just talk about it.
Okay.
It's blue.
Blue.
Oh, not that blue.
Well, tell us about it. First of all, it's Thursday nights. 6:30?
6 o'clock every Thursday night. Akaku upstairs.
Akaku
Yes, the very various topics.
Road.
We have one coming up as well on immersion schools. So that should be. They are all interesting. We just had one not too long ago about homelessness with Lisa Darcy. We had one about 5G, technology of 5G. So call us or just go on our brand new website, akaku.org, and you'll get lots of answers there.
See, we are a very interactive group. Suzy, you are a great representative. It looks like we're running out of time, Suzy. 34 seconds.
And you've been listening to
goodness.
KAKU
30
88.5
seconds.
from
I'm
Maui.
Jason Schwartz. This is the Maui Neutral Zone.com. And we have, Suzy, you've been a great guest. We'll have Dreaming Bear maybe next week, maybe 1 week soon.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
I love Dreaming Bear.
Let's do this if we can hit it.
We put the music on,
We'll put the music on.
and we say aloha.
We love you out there. We hope to see you again.